afternoon to everyone. From my side, FIG, my name is Gaurav Roy. And as you may be aware, that we take care of Indian subcontinent, which includes, of course, India, Bangladesh, as well as Sri Lanka. And we do also have an operation in Middle East from Dubai. Now with me, Lena, who is the marketing manager from Markandi. She is there, as well as Mr. Phil Parwin. He's the main guy who is going to actually run through the presentation. And then we do have Lucas from the demo facility from Europe. He's going to be the one who is going to talk and show us the live demo. Thank you very much. Over to you, Lena.
Thank you, Gaurav. Welcome again. Good afternoon, good morning for some people from different regions. I'm so glad that I can open this meeting again for you almost 1 year ago after our first webinar. My name is Lena Chmielewska-Bontron. I am responsible for marketing in Europe. And I would like to introduce to you my colleagues. So Phil, if you could share the screen with our pictures will be easier.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. Phil Baldwin, as Gaurav mentioned, our European sales manager with more than 20 years experiences in mid and narrow web market. Phil has a lot of technical experiences, so I'm sure that he will share a lot of important information for you today. Łukasz Kalczyński, Markandi Poland Demo Room Manager, will assist Phil in his presentation, and he will make a live demonstration for you. Grzegorz Rostkowski, our print specialist, will run the Flexo machine today. Okay, Phil, so I think that we can start with your presentation, so please start. Thank you for the moment, and we will see later on.
Great, thank you, Lena. Can you see the screen okay? It's all full screen?
Yeah.
Perfect. So yes, good afternoon or good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Just a brief history of Markandi and then into a presentation outlining the new Markandi Evolution E3. So Markandi was founded in 1946 by Mark Andrews. He built the first Markandi press, which was a tape press, in his basement in Kirkwood, Missouri. To this date, Markandi is still based within Missouri in St. Louis. Founding in 1946, that means this year we're going into our 75th year, so 75 years of leading the market in narrow to mid-web flexographic presses. We have more than 9,000 presses installed globally. So that's out there in the field running that Markandi support day to day. We have more than 80 directly employed technicians and experts worldwide. In America and Canada, Markandi has over 70% of the market share. Globally, we have 35% of the market share, which makes us probably the largest install base throughout Europe and the rest of the world. We have more than 60 dealers worldwide who also have direct engineers to help support the press in the field. And globally as a company, Markandi has over 400 employees. So Markandi isn't just a press manufacturer. We like to be known as a total solutions provider. So whether it's the front end, the press, all the way through to finishing, Markandi has something to help you. So with this, we have Markandi Print Products, which was founded in 2013. This is to offer a complete line of flexo and offset supplies and consumables, such as plate mounting tape, wash up, gloves, cloths, everything you need for your print shop. When it comes to the finishing side, Markandi own Rotaflex. They were established in 1973. Rotaflex have the largest global install base of slitter rewinders. As part of Markandi, we can offer this as a package, so you can buy your press and your finishing equipment from us. We also own a company called PressTech. They make the offset DI presses. These are very popular. They're digital imaging sheet-fed offset machines for short run. And then in 2018, we also brought Kluge for the hot stamping, the box making, offline finishing as well for the offset market. So our vision statement, Mark Andy will be the supplier of choice throughout the entire product lifecycle, offering high quality, innovative solutions that drive our customers' profitability. So we will ensure our customers enjoy doing business with Mark Andy and its associated brands, and we want to continue doing business with us in the future. We partner with our customers and provide solutions throughout the product's lifetime. So we're not just a supplier, we like to become our customer's partner in business. This is supporting you, whether it's with applications, whether it's with technical questions, whether it's with service and maintenance. We also say throughout your whole product's life cycle, Mark Andy will support the presses, whether it's 1 year old or 30 years old. We have so many machines in the field which are easily in excess of 20 years old and still running at optimum performance because we still manufacture and make the parts. That's a key point, manufacture. Mark Andy is one of the few suppliers that actually manufacture in-house the parts and the machines. Most other suppliers or OEMs will bring in pre-built parts or presses and then just assemble them. Mark Andy actually manufactures the parts and assembles in-house. So I'm just going to pass over to Gaurav here to explain a little bit on Flexo Image Graphics. Gaurav, over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Phil. Well, I mean, if I talk about FIG, we got incorporated in year 2000. So it has been 21 years in the business. And as I said before, that we are located in Delhi, Chennai, Mumbai, and we do also have an office in Dubai. So total personnel, I mean, in terms of staff is concerned, we are approximately 31 plus, and we are located at various different locations. Now, one of the most important and critical factor, what we identified, that it's not only about selling equipments, it is about service, and after sales support is one of the most critical area which we focus upon. Now, we do have 220 plus customers. I mean, there was a time when we were also taking care of Pakistan, but not right now. This is a bit old slide, but yes, no, we have 220 customers, and in terms of installation base, about Mark Andy and the products related to Mark Andy Group, we have 453 equipments installed on the ground. So, of course, there are few installations which happened before us taking over this business. So there were very few numbers. So total here we are showing 467. PressTech is also one of the product which has really come up, and we have recently done installations in India to large packaging houses as well as publications. Rotoflex has been very popular, and also we do installations for other finishing equipments, and we are also into consumable business. Thank you very much, and let Phil take it over.
Thank you, Gaurav. So, okay, moving back on to the Evolution E3. Mark Andy launched the Evolution series at the last Label Expo we were able to attend. So that's going back to 2018, I believe. And the Evolution series has proved to be so hugely popular. We actually launched 2 models now. So today we're going to look at the Mark Andy Evolution E3 label press. Some of its benefits, it's very simple to operate. It has our load and lock technology. So we take a lot of the operations away from the operator. So it's very simple, easy use, thanks to the ergonomic design of the print head. The press is full servo. So it's servo from the unwind through to the rewind. There's no belts there. There's no line shaft. Each print station has dual servo. So very similar to the premium P7 model on the print head design. This enables you to reduce your operating costs and maximize uptime. The E3 is available in 13-inch, so 330 millimeter web width, and also 17-inch, 430 millimeter web width. And it comes in 4 colors or 8 colors. You can also, as an option, add the rail system or fixed position, so movable items, whether that's a web turn bar or DLAM relam to print on the glue side, or cold foil for decoration and value added for that shelf appeal. So some of the market trends we see, shorter runs. So obviously customers having more variations, different designs, and then also shorter runs because they don't want to buy hundreds of thousands of a single product when, you know, ideally they only need 20,000. So it's market demand for shorter runs but at lower cost. Higher quality labels. So it needs to be advanced technology, improved registration, improved impression settings and web transport. And then skilled operators. We're seeing in the market, there's less and less skilled operators. So you really need to de-skill the presses, i.e. simplify the presses for ease of use. So you don't necessarily need a more expensive, highly experienced operator or printer to operate these machines. So the evolution, your average waist setup is around about 75 feet. For a complete job setup, that would be an 8-color job. You're talking about 20 minutes. It's around about 5 minutes to set up the die. This is thanks to the full servo technology. So you have full 360-degree registration. On average, the number of jobs, 100,000 label jobs you'd be looking at is about 3,645. And the estimated annual profit margin is around about 1.3 million. So if you can imagine, that will give you a return on your investment in a very, very short period of time. Quick overview of the E3. This is the press you see here. Reliable and consistent impression. This is thanks to the design of the print head with the disc gauge bearer design. So whether it's the operator in the morning or the operator in the afternoon, there should be no variation between the impression. So again, it's de-skilling the press to make it easier to use and more consistent for the operator and owner. Full servo technology, so whether it's the unwind, the rewind, it's total full servo. Your rapid changeovers, so it takes about 30 seconds to change over your print cylinders. And then robust converting, so the solid platforms. You know, this can be seen from the machines we have out in the field, which are 10, 15, 20 years old. So the higher quality, again, this comes from the reliable, consistent impression settings with the independent impression and inking adjustments. So one adjustment will not affect the other. Tighter registration control, utilizing servo-controlled in-feed and exit, along with an independent plate roll drive. So this means we can actually change the speed of the plate roll, thanks to the print stations having 2 servos. We also have on the machines what is called an Oldham coupling drive. Now, rather than having a pin drive system where a pin goes against a pin, which over time will wear and will decrease the register tolerance, we use a male and female slot called an Oldham drive. This prevents any wear, and it also increases the register. The tolerance goes from an average machine of 5 to 6 thou down to about 4 thou register tolerance. So it will actually give you probably the best registration tolerance on the market. We have a new improved web transport system. So it's a full servo in-feed and exit. We also use 24-inch in-feed and exit pacing rollers. So this eliminates the registration movement you would see on a normal label press, which only have 8 or 12-inch, so the smaller in-feed impression rolls. The auto registration system allows for setting up the register at idle speed, and then you can ramp up to production speed without seeing that registration pull out, thanks to this new improved registration system. So we have an enhanced pre-registration system. So it will automatically put the plates in position with the first print down. This will be as accurate really as your plate mounting. Fast impression adjustments during material changes with completely independent material impression adjustment. So what this means is any movement of the plate won't upset the web transport, which can cause misregistration on the units following the one you have adjusted. The load and lock inking system, so 30-second changeovers, and then servo controlled die stations with auto register, just to ensure your die station stays in register throughout production at faster speeds. So really the roundup is the E3 is full servo technology, extremely easy to use. You have reliable impression and die cutting. You have rock solid registration thanks to the Oldham drive and the improved web transport, and much faster changeovers than other presses. The machine also features a new UV system called Pro UV. So Pro UV is a system built for Mark Andy by our partners for Destrian. Now, this is a Canadian company who work with Italian company to make this UV system. We have been using it probably for about 15 years now on retrofit. So it's strong, solid, proven technology. And the whole system is backed up by Mark Andy's global service network. It's a very energy efficient system compared to other UV systems or older systems on the market, with the power supplies having a power factor of up to 94%. Older systems, most likely they're probably around about 60 to 70%. More modern systems, you're probably still only in the 80s. So 94% power factor is extremely high. It has a fully adaptive ventilation control, so it allows for greater temperature variance to keep the lamps at the optimal temperature in every environment. So some systems can suffer if they're in hotter countries, for example, India. Thanks to the Pro UV system and its controls, it controls the temperature depending on its environment. So it's suited to extreme environments, unlike other systems. So the applications for the E3, now this is going to be your durable industrial labels, think oil drums, paint cans, tags and tickets, so think wristbands, the tags for trees and animal carcasses, tickets, venue tickets, so unsported board, airline tickets, and then prime labels, so everything from a pressure sensitive white label, polypropylenes, clear on clear, really everything that you would want from a label press. Some of the specification, so as mentioned, 330 or 430 whips. The maximum speed, as is a label press, is 150 meters per minute. So the substrate range is from 50 to 305 microns. The die range is from 140 mil to 610 mil. And maximum die repeat is 24 inch, which is 610 millimeters. The unwind and the rewind are full size rewinds. There's no sacrifice there. So that's the 1 meter, 40 inch or 1 meter unwind and rewinds, which again are full servo technology. So we're going to pass over now. Lucas, would you, if I stop sharing, are we okay to go over to you if you could share? Then could you just give Lucas a
Yeah, I will check what is going on.
I am sorry. I am
okay.
Here.
Good.
Sorry, I was muted. So hello everyone. My name is Łukasz Kaczyński, and I'm responsible person for the Mark Andy demo room in Poland. Together with my colleague Grzegorz Rostkowski, we will present you our machine, Mark Andy Evolution E3 series. We will run 2 live jobs, and we will show quick job changeover, and we will also give a quick overview of the press. So let's start from the beginning till the end. This is how the machine looks like. Looks very similar to Performance series, and it's also built same way as Performance, more or less. So we are starting with the unwinder. We have splice table and ultrasonic web guide. From 2 sides we have sensors. We have in-feed pacing. It's servo driven. So we've got big pacing roll, and we've got one rubber nip roll. So this pacing roll is the same diameter as the impression cylinder in the printing stations. That's why we are able to hold very good web tension in the machine, and because of that, the registration is holding really good. What's very important in the machine is that we don't have any shaft in this machine. It's all servo driven, and we have 2 servo motors in each print station. One servo motor drives the impression cylinder, and the second one drives the print cylinder. Maybe later on I can show you how it looks like in the backside of the machine. So over here we have a delamination module. So when we want to print on the glue side, we are splitting face and liner. Liner goes up, face goes to the print station. We are printing one color on the glue side, and then it goes to the relamination module. And we have web turning bar. What's very important that we need to add, that we have the rail system through the whole machine, so we can easily move all the equipment on the rail. So we can move the web turning bar to other print stations or cold foiling unit. We can also have laminator on the rail, or in this case, a peel-off module. So everything is on the rail. And what's also a small difference between performance series, that the locking knob is in the front, so on the operator side. So the operator doesn't have to go to the rear side of the machine anymore. And we have also support bar for all the equipment. So this got 2 functions. It supports the web turning bar, but also for some of the substrates, you need to change the level a little bit of the web turning bar. So you can easily do with this screw. And then it's going a little bit up or down. E3 is available in configuration of 4 print stations or 8 print stations only. This machine has 8 colors and it's 330 millimeters width, which is 13 inches. The print head is exactly the same as performance series. So we have ink tray with meter roll, we have doctor blade, we have Anilox roll, plate cylinder with the plate, and impression cylinder. All the colors are working in the automatic register. Over here we've got the sensor, 6 sensor, which is reading the master mark from the first print station or the master station. And over here we've got pre-registration sensor. You can see the red light. So when all the plates are mounted in the same way, the same position, and we are setting up new job, you just need to make a small final adjustment and the colors will be in the register. We have 1 control panel for 2 print stations. So if you want to operate the right one, you need to push this knob. If you want to operate the left one, you just need to turn it off. In this machine, Evolution E3, we are using Pro UV UV system. That's how it looks. 1 cassette, UV cassette. It's 160 watts per centimeter power. Grzegorz, could you please take one cassette? Take out. So it's very easy to take it out. You've got only 1 knob. You need to turn it, and it's out. So very easy to maintenance and to clean. Also, very easy to take out the glass, protective glass. So the protective glass got 2 functions. It's keeping the bulb clean, and it's also limiting the heat created by the UV lamp. So you don't get that much heat on your web, on your substrate.
It looks very user-friendly, Lucas.
It is, it really is. So this is the registration knob, 360 degrees. If you want to go forward, you are turning on to the right. If you want to go backwards, you're turning to the left. And this is the side-to-side registration. Oh, sorry. All the print stations are looking pretty much the same. The only difference is on the last print station, which has longer web path to the UV lamp for better spread out of the coatings and varnishes. Over here we have a cold foil module, unwinder and rewinder, nipple, very easy to set up and also very quick to move from one print station to another, as you don't need to change any idlers or add any idlers. This is the main control panel for the operator. So you can move the registration backwards and forwards from this screen as well. We have a vertical die cut slot. Waste removal and hoist to swap the magnetic cylinders. Again, we have exit pacing. So one we have in the beginning of the machine, which we are calling infeed pacing. And over here we've got exit pacing. So big pacing roll servo driven with rubber nipple, which controls our web tension in the machine. Over here we have BST Electromat 100% inspection camera. We can also add IC, AVT. It's up to customer wish what kind of inspection camera we will have. At the moment, most of the printing houses are printing labels above 120, 140 meters per minute. And with this speed, it's impossible to control the quality for the operator just by eye. So most of the companies, in Europe at least, are installing and investing in inspection cameras. And over here, we have a rewinder. So that's how the machine looks like. From the front side and on the rear side, it's quite simple and easy. So we have main power cabinet. We have UV system extraction. So that's the blower basically. And we don't have ducting in the demo room. That's why the big black box does the ozone filter. And maybe I can show you one print station from the back side, so you can see that we have two servo motors for each station. They made by Mitsubishi, very reliable, strong servo motors. So over here we have one for the print cylinder, and over here we have for the impression cylinder. This is integrated power pack for the UV lamp. We have one for two lamps. And this is the ducting system for all of the UV lamps. Machine has been built in quite simple way, but robust way. And later on, it's very easy to maintenance and service this machine. Okay, do we have any questions, or we will have questions at the end of the demo?
I think
Maybe,
that
Lucas,
the
maybe just talk about the system, what you have on the rail after the core foiling unit.
The peel-off module, you mean?
Yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. It's quite noisy in here. So maybe we will have all the questions at the end.
Well, that's fine. I just wanted to, wanted you to explain this module because I believe that you're not really running a job with the peel-off module, right?
Yes, that's correct. But this one we have only for the testing right now, but it's quite simple and easy to use. So we are webbing the web to upper side, then goes to lower one, and you are splitting one web and goes to the turning bar from here and goes to the turning bar in here, and you are putting two webs on top of each other. Very simple to use.
Yeah, so I mean, this normally stays at the end of the press, or you think that there are applications where you see that this will be moved?
Normally it's always at the end.
Right.
Okay, so let's start the demo. For today's demo, Grzegorz prepared two jobs. One job is CMYK plus Pantone plus cold foiling and die cutting. The second one is CMYK plus Pantone and die cutting. So let's see how the machine is running. We are running at the moment maximum speed of the machine, which is 152 meters per minute. Let's check the registration. Registration looks very good. Let's adjust a little bit backward. I can't see that it's moving even at all. And we are running 150 meters per minute. So Grzegorz has stopped the machine. Let's start again with the same speed and check if the registration will come back in the same place. So you can see that when machine starts, the registration was a little bit off, but now it's exactly in the same place. So when you are changing your role or stopping for one or another reason, you don't need to play with the registration. So we are printing a master mark on cyan, and all the other colors print stations are following the master mark in usage of 6 sensors in here. Also, maybe we can show manual mode. Let's swap from automatic mode to manual mode in registration and see what happens. So now all the colors are in manual mode. Starting registration as well, good. So let's start and stop with manual mode. Just to confirm, we have everything in manual. And let's start again and see if the registration will come back. Grzegorz was a bit afraid, but even in manual mode, it comes back in the same position. So whether it's manual or automatic register, it's holding registration perfect. And the substrate in the machine is PP white 50 microns with glass inliner. So let's start changing the job. So Grzegorz is removing the cold foil, taking out the print cylinder. What's very important that our machines have very easy access and are operator friendly. So if you want to swap the cylinder, you just need to hit one button, take out the cylinder. You don't have any guards, any covers. You don't need any special tools. Just one button, taking out. Also, when you are changing from one repeat to another, from big cylinders to small cylinders, and you are running similar thickness of the substrate, you don't need to play with the impression adjustments. So over here, we've got knobs for the impression adjustments, but when the substrate is has similar thickness, you don't need to play to change it because of the design of the print head, the print station. So the cylinder is lying here. So it doesn't matter if it's a big cylinder or small, the contact position is always the same, the contact point. Okay, so we are starting another job. Grzegorz just hit the impression knob button on the cyan. We are printing a master mark on cyan. Over here. Then this sensor is reading this master mark. Grzegorz hits the pre-register button and it's almost 100% in the register. Just a small final adjustment. Same story with another print station. So reading the mark, hitting the pre-register button, final correction, and moving to the next one. Okay, up to the next one. Okay. Now the die cut. Now we will be swapping the flexi dies. get the flexi die into the register. Same story, automatic register, sensor is over there. We can move it backwards or forward in usage of this knob, or we can change it in the OIT screen.
So to remove that last job, Lucas, take the whole job off in the cold foil, put the new job on, print to print register and die cut. You're about just under 8 minutes. So that's pretty impressive really for complete job change.
How many minutes, sorry?
I said just under 8. I think it's closer to actually to about 6 minutes, sorry.
Yeah, that's quite normal for this machine. Let's check how much waste Grzegorz produced by setting up a new job. So we started to print somewhere in here. Then we set up all the CMYK colors and Pantone and remove the waste. And it's all in register, acceptable to start the production.
Can you do it again and make it shorter?
Shorter than 1.5 meters might be difficult, but I will ask Grzegorz next time to do this better.
Great job.
Okay. Okay, let's come on the production speed. Production speed for Grzegorz is always the same, 150. Small correction in the registration, side to side. We are running now 70 meters per minute. Now we will run 150.
How many colors is this job, Lucas? 5?
5 colors here.
5
CMYK
colours.
and 1 Pantone.
So a pretty average label job then. So quite a true reflection.
So we are running 150 and register is spot on. Okay, so let's stop for a moment. Really nice. Let's check the label. Okay, let's start again and check the registration.
So normally on a mechanical press, due to web transport, the registration move completely move out.
Just one length of the press and register is back on.
It's absolutely minimum waste.
Stop for a moment. Okay. Now we would like to show you how easy and quick is to change from one color to another. So we'll take everything out of the print station and put it back in. This shouldn't take longer than 30 seconds. So open the print station, take out the print cylinder, take out the doctor blade, Anilox roll, and the ink tray. That's all. Print station is ready to print. Okay, thank you for watching. That's all what we prepared for you for printing for the demonstration. Thank you, Grzegorz, and we would like to invite you for the Q&A session.
Thank you, Lucas.
Thank you, Grzegorz.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, we have a few questions which we received during the presentation. First question to Gurav. Could you repeat once again which regions does Flexo Image Graphics cover?
We take care of India, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Nepal. Then we also take care of Middle East, except Saudi Arabia.
Okay. Next question to Phil or Gurav as well. If I buy Flex or digital machine, who will support me in case of installation and training? It will be Candy or Flexo Image Graphics?
It's a partnership, really. We are there to support FIG remotely. The FIG are one of our longest established distributors, and the engineers are Mark Andy level trained. So Gaurav, perhaps you explain a little more.
Well, the engineers, what we have is with on an average of experience of 15 to 16 years in the company, and they are all certified Mark Andy engineers. They have been trained at various locations in Mark Andy, as well as after so many installations what we have done. So we did gather a lot of experience. Of course, digital is one of the areas where we have not yet done any installation, where Mark Andy will play a very important role for us, and that is going to be a learning curve. However, as for Mark Andy Flexo presses are concerned, we are fully capable to handle everything starting from installation, training, as well as the after-sales support. We also stock certain important spare parts at our Delhi office, which is the headquarter, and we are already extending PMP programs, which is preventive maintenance programs. We do have currently 67 programs going on.
Okay, thank you. Phil, how many days does the training normally takes?
It's normally about 4.5 days training, but the operator normally by the second day is pretty much self-sufficient. So we tend to go over the basics on the first couple of days, and then towards on sort of the third and fourth day, some of the maintenance, operator maintenance and other instructions. And then really the last sort of day or day and a half is just us watching the operator to ensure they're capable of running the machine themselves. Alongside that though, Mark Andy has, we used to have Mark Andy University. We now have what we call My Mark Andy, which is a web portal all customers can register to. And there's hundreds upon hundreds of online videos. A lot of them are what we call a how-to video. So let's say an operator's done cold foil in training, then doesn't do it again for 3 months. They're not sure how to do it. They can actually just go on the Mark Andy, My Mark Andy portal, and there's not only instructions, but there's videos. They can watch the videos of a full setup of how to do it. So we're not only there directly providing training, but remotely through, you know, our online portal, online training university. So it's continued training. We're there from the initial point and then throughout the life cycle of the press.
Okay. Next question. I think that we already received answer during the live demonstration, because the question about the substrate, how much substrate do you need for setting up the new job?
Yeah, not much. Very little, thanks to the web transport and the auto register system. So obviously it'll vary operator to operator, but it's a fraction of, let's say, a classic label press, a mechanical label press. Material costs now to the converter, the printer, material costs are rising, massively rising. So it's becoming their biggest expense. So if you have a machine that can make ready in only a few meters versus someone else's mechanical press that uses 200 meters, you know, the cost savings are crazy over a day, over a month, over a year. So yeah, it's very little.
But can we say like it will be more or less 2 meters for a new job?
Yeah, print to print register easily within a few meters. And then it's just a case of whether you want to do your production pass there or whether you want to ramp up to production speed just to check everything, colors, etc. But even then, it would only be maybe 20, 30 seconds at a run speed. So you're still not really exceeding 30 or 40 meters. You know, print to print, print to die, 2 or 3 meters. If you were to run up to run speed, yeah, you know, 30 or 40 meters. On a older machine or a legacy press, as we call them, the mechanical ones, normally people allow 40 to 50 meters per color. So you're talking 200 to 250 meters. With a machine like the Evolution, you know, you're probably down to 50 meters. So 1/5 of the standard wastage.
Okay, next question. What is the total power needed to run the 8 colors E3 press?
So I don't have that to hand. We'd need to have a look at a site plan. It's lower than quite a lot of other presses because the UV system, the Pro UV, is extremely energy efficient. And on a machine, the largest energy consumer is actually the UV system. So what I would suggest is if you could email that to us or to Gaurav, and we can arrange a site plan which will show you the requirements for an 8-color 13-inch or 17-inch press.
Can we put other UV system in the machine, or do we have to take this system only with this press?
Other systems are possible. Obviously, there'd be cost implications. We can ship the machine without a UV system on it. It would mean testing in St. Louis would be limited if we didn't have a curing system. But we have in the past sent the machines without a curing system, and then people have locally fitted a system of their choice. Personally, I wouldn't recommend it because the cost of the systems are not that great compared to many years ago. So really it's the customer's choice and down to the commercial terms, so the pricing. But yeah, it's absolutely possible.
Okay. Next question to Gaurav about trends in your market. Do people focus on flexo or digital right now?
Well, I would say that still the focus is on the flexo. I mean, because we're not very far from China, still a lot of people are buying, finishing equipment, which is like flatbed die cutting and all that. So they are printing through their traditional style of letterpress. But as we can see that flexo is getting more and more competitive, and if we can control the wastage, which is the critical factor today, still the focus would be on the flexo side. But we do see that there is a trend slowly coming in for the digital also. However, we are yet to see the costing of the digital and how good, in terms of ROI is concerned. But Flexo is one of the area which converters are aware of, and they do know how to do the costing, and they can figure out the hidden costs also. So still, Flexo is one of the technology which is quite popular, and people are interested to invest.
Okay, next question. Does the machine have chilled impression rolls? Phil, you have already answered it, but I think that our guests will not see it.
Yeah, so chilled impression rolls are an option that can be added to the machine. So there are several options that can be added to the base press. That's the beauty of the machine. We're not offering you just one configuration for a set price. You can start with a basic configuration and then decide what you want to add, whether that's a chronotreater, a web cleaner, web turn bar, rail system, chilled impression, one die station, two die stations, or maybe you want one die station and a sheeting station. So we don't limit you just to fixed configurations, which you do tend to see with other suppliers. It's a fixed configuration for a fixed price. We like to help you build the machine that suits your business rather than over specifying or under specifying a machine. So yes, it's absolutely possible to add chilled impression.
Okay, perfect. I think that we answered to all questions. Phil, Gaurav, did you receive any questions on private message?
So there's actually one, does the machine support the QC-DC? The E3 only actually runs the vertical die slots. It's designed at, being a label press, your longer runs and your longer setups. So your longer runs rather than multiple changeovers, which would require QC-DC. But as you saw during the video with Gregos, it's actually extremely quick to change over your flexi die, or you could look at having two vertical dies. So you can have one station running and then the other one with your next repeat size already in. So when you stop the machine, you can lift up the first die and then just mount the second die to get going. So changeover time's still very quick on this system. The QC-DC though is available on the E5 if you were to look at that model.
Okay, perfect. Gaurav,
What I can say is that we have done installations. If I talk about performance series, today we have more than 50 machines within India. But one of the things is that we have not yet installed even one QC-DC. I would love to do that, but the operators are smart and they are getting smarter and smarter, and they could manage with the vertical die cutter station. But QC-DC is an investment, and which can be possible on the performance series presses, not on Evolution.
Just one final question. So it's just asking if the machine comes with the advanced waste wind-up. That is also an optional extra, I believe. I'm 90% sure it is, but yes, I do believe that is an option. Really, it's to do with what we call the IOs, the inputs and outputs. So yes, the advanced waste wind-up is possible. Okay, so if there's any other questions, I'll just leave this up for a moment. If you send them to marketing@markandy.com, we will be able to internally answer them or pass them over to Gaurav to answer for you. So yeah, Lena, I'll leave you and Gaurav to close.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Łukasz, for a great presentation, like always. Gaurav, thank you for this opportunity that we could make this webinar for you. And we are waiting for more questions on our marketing email. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Yeah, thank you, Mark Andy team, and thank you for all who have managed to join this session. Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Phil.